The media is the message and the messenger, and increasingly a powerful one.
People learn more from media than any other single source of information. So if we want to understand what's going on in our society in the 21st century, we have to understand media.
If you think about media and technology, they're delivering content that is shaping our society. They're shaping our politics, they're shaping our national discourse, and most of all, they're shaping our children's brains and lives and emotions.
We estimate there's somewhere north of 1 billion people who use the internet every single day. That's just a reach that hasn't existed before in terms of media.
Our kids today live on Facebook and cell phones. The diversity of the platforms means that those images are impacting your kid 24/7, and whatever restrictions existed when we were growing up simply don't exist today.
Girls get the message from very early on that what's most important is how they look, that their value, their worth depends on that. And boys get the message that this is what's important about girls. We get it from advertising, we get it from films, we get it from television shows, video games, everywhere we look. So no matter what else a woman does, no matter what else her achievements, their value still depends on how they look.
There is no appreciation for women intellectuals. It's all about the body, not about the brain.
You all saw the famous photo from the weekend of Hillary looking so haggard and looking like 92 years old.
Breast implants. Did you have them or not? Because that's all over the internet about you in mainstream media.
I think if you waterboarded Nancy Pelosi, she wouldn't admit to plastic surgery.
The fact that media are so limiting and so derogatory to the most powerful women in the country, then what does it say about media's ability to take any woman in America seriously?
The media treats women like, and it's horrible, and it's like, I don't know how we survive it. I don't know how we rise above it.
In a house of teenage girls, magazines are everywhere.
I think the media is obviously their story is people get anorexia because they want to be thin and they see other people in magazines and on the catwalk and they think, I want to be like that. And to be honest, that's a really good story, and why would they want to change it? It's a perfect story, but it's not the truth. I mean, maybe for some people it is, but I know that for me it's not. I haven't got anorexia because I've been aspired to look like other people. It's the image in my head. There's no one that's my idol. There's just an image in my head that's my idol, but it's not a real person.
The ideal image of beauty is more extreme and impossible than ever before. In the old days, the perfection was achieved through cosmetics and airbrushing, but now it's possible for that image to be absolutely perfect because of computers. You never see the photograph of a woman considered beautiful that hasn't been digitally altered to make her absolutely inhumanly perfect. Girls are being encouraged to achieve that ideal at younger and younger ages all the time. They end up measuring themselves against an impossible standard and feeling themselves wanting as a result of it. Also, not surprisingly, young men who are shown lots of photographs of supermodels then judge real women much more harshly. The most important thing to understand about all of these images and how they affect us is that the effect is primarily subconscious, and that it is very harmful, but that for the most part we're not really aware of that, which is why we need to pay conscious attention to these images.
The average child develops over 18 to 24 years, and full brain development doesn't really occur until you're into your early 20s. So the idea that kids at 8 or 10 or 15 have the same level of intellectual and emotional maturity as an adult is nuts. They have different interpretive abilities, they have different emotional abilities, and they're a much more vulnerable class in society.
I worry about you know, how much pressure my daughters feel in a society that features anorexic actresses and models and television stars. We get conditioned to think this is what women should look like. So even people of average weight and size have body dysmorphic disorder.
When I did my first television show, All American Girl, which was the first Asian American family show on television, I had a lot of problems with the network because they were constantly telling me that I was too fat. You know, I became very anorexic, trying to somehow keep this job that I really wanted to keep. And, you know, they ended up canceling the television show, and they replaced it with Drew Carey, because he's so thin.
An aspect of media literacy education that I think many people aren't aware of is the whole political economy of the media. Most media get their revenues from advertising, you know, so the non-advertising content of these media has to support the advertising.
Everybody needs to learn what the media is really about. It's really like about how they want you to be something that you're not.
A lot of advertising is based on making people feel anxious and feeling insecure. For men, there's a lot of anxiety around status and power and wanting to look as if you have power, at least drive a powerful car. For women, that you're never beautiful enough.
Which is why you keep seeing these same body types over and over and over again, because those are the body types that generate the purchase of all these beauty products in the sort of futile pursuit of this idealized body. It's a hugely profitable pursuit for these media industries and for all of the advertisers. American women end up spending much more money on beauty and the pursuit of these ideals and these myths than on their own education, which in fact would benefit them more in the long run. And so, under this rhetoric of empowerment, it's completely disempowering women.
Not only are girls seen as objects by other people, they learn to see themselves as objects.
The American Psychological Association has found in recent years that self-objectification has become a national epidemic, a national problem. The more women and girls self-objectify, the more likely they are to be depressed, to have eating disorders. They have lower confidence, they have lower ambition, they have lower cognitive functioning, they have lower GPAs.
This is dangerous business. If the media is sending girls the message that their value lies in their bodies, this can only leave them feeling disempowered and distract them from making a difference and becoming leaders.